Hey guys, Zach here at etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Titan Chain Alloy Snow tire chains on our 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe. I've got these on a tire size of 235/65 R17. These are going to be a really nice option to give you a little bit more heavy duty option for your Santa Fe. They're not going to be real big beefy chains that you're maybe seeing on bigger vehicles, but compared to some of the other options, they're going to do a better job at getting you good traction in snow and ice compared to like the rollers or even like the smaller D-Link style like we have here. Something that really separates this one compared to some others is the ease of installation and the self-tensioning device. So I don't have to crawl underneath the vehicle and make a connection behind the tire. I just drape them over, make a couple connections, and then it's got a built-in self-tensioner here. So it's pretty simple to use. I can get back in the car and get safely going down the road. The self-tensioner, what that does is it takes the slack. So these are not a complete universal chain. They're going to fit multiple different tire sizes. So they do have a little bit of play to accommodate that. So what you do is you use this and you take that tension out. Where other chains, you have to buy an additional piece that grabs the chains and pulls them tight. So having it all built in, not having to dig through the trunk or misplacing it in the off season is a really nice feature. If you take a closer look at the chains here, what makes these really good for working out in snow and ice is that diamond pattern that they offer. Compared to like a ladder style that just has a roller or a chain that goes across every so many inches, this gives us maximum tire coverage that's really going to grip down into that snow to get us going. It's going to be better traction when we're turning, and also whenever we're slowing down on ice, it's really going to kind of grip down into that ice to give us a better stopping performance. I do want to point out that these are going to be a little bit beefier than like the rollers and some of the other smaller link style, but they still give you a really smooth ride. And especially you want to keep in mind that these are going to have a maximum speed rating of 30 miles per hour. You're not going to want to go that fast anyway if you're in the conditions that need these chains. So these are going to be a really good mix between good traction but also a smoother ride, since they aren't the biggest chains in the world. Another thing to keep in mind, they are made of a manganese nickel alloy, so they are going to be rust resistant. And the cool thing is they come with this reusable tote that's going to keep them nice and neat in the back of your vehicle when you're not using them. I would recommend after you have used them to let them dry off a little bit before you put them back in here. But overall, I like these chains. I think they're going to do a good job of getting you back on the road safely. They're not very difficult to install. So let's show you how we got them installed. Before you get your chains installed, I advise you to lay them out, kind of make sure you don't have any kinks, you don't have anything that's broken. I also would suggest testing this out before you really need to put them on, because it's a good idea to have a good understanding of how they work. But you're also going to want to make sure on these ends here where the chain connects to these cables, they've kind of got a open side and a closed side. So I like that closed loop side to face my tire. So you're going to have those facing down on the ground before you put these on. And you'll take this gray side and you'll feed it around the back side of your tire. And then the yellow side will be back here. We'll get that around. We'll come around here and get that fed around. And we can take this gray side here and the yellow side, and we'll meet them right at the top of the tire. So we can bring those back here, and they just connect just like that, pretty easy. So let that sit there. Bring the rest of the chain around. And just kind of feed it around. So it's kind of sitting even like that. And then we can come here where this green piece is, and we've got a couple extra links of the yellow chain. And we'll feed that to one another. And I'll start with that middle one there. Seems like a good spot to start. And we can make our way down to the bottom. And you'll see this red piece here. So it has two different sides. One is open and one is closed. You want that closed side to rest against the tire. And then we can take the gray chain on the other side and we'll feed it through that opening. Then it has this little groove right here that catches the chain once you've gotten the tension, or you've got it tight, so you don't want any slack in there. And then what you can do is you can bring this excess chain through this red loop, and then you can kind of go anywhere that you'd like on this yellow chain. Just make sure you're keeping some tension. So I think that if we went right here, it wouldn't provide enough because we do have a little play down here. So if we bring this back to itself, we might be able to get it to kind of pull some of that slack out of there, which it does. So then we've got nice tight chain all the way around. And once you get this chain in place, you can repeat the same process for the other side. I think it's a good idea to drive forward a little bit, maybe 5-10 feet, get out and check to make sure that they're still tight, make any adjustments as needed. But that'll do it for our look at the Titan Chain Alloy Snow Tire Chains on our 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe.